Hey y'all, it's my review for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, episode 15. I heard this episode is really good. Garcelle goes off. This is my first time viewing it. Technically, I tried to look at it last night, but I was a little high and I fell asleep like halfway through the middle. Missed the best part. So yeah, y'all gonna get my authentic reaction of Garcelle reading these checks. Anywho, let's get into the episode. So we are still at Dorit's homeless but toothless but homeless. Not homeless but toothless? Homeless, not toothless. Shit, I don't know. I can't believe we're still at this event. Like, this must have gave producers everything they wanted and more, because in the last episode, they got there at the 30-minute mark and we're still there at the beginning of the next episode. So later, after Lisa's meltdown, followed by the breakdown, Dorit has a surprise birthday cake for Kyle. Side note, I love this dress Dorit is wearing. She looks really good. Child, so the drama still ain't over yet. So the ladies decide to unpack some other drama, some unsaid drama amongst the group. You still have the ladies from the charity there. They don't know whether to stay or leave. I'm glad like Garcelle and Sutton was like, you guys want to go? You can go. So then Crystal wants to address the ladies on her eating disorder and what she heard from Lisa Rinna, followed by Sutton. She just wants to make it known that she sought help or is in the process of seeking help for it. She's not just telling them and not doing anything about it. It's really sad that this is like a plot line for Crystal. Surely there's something else that's going on in her life or some other beef that she has with the other ladies. Like, I want to see her get into it with Erika or Diana or Lisa Rinna or something. Afterwards, it's Sutton's turn and she wants to address Erika for calling her a liability. Ooh, and Sutton drops a bomb at the table. Y'all, Sutton needs a raise. She needs an effing raise. Now, bravo. She says she was contacted by an attorney involved in one of Erika's many lawsuits, and they wanted to know if she had any information, and she says she didn't. But I'm thinking like they saw her last season, and I think at the reunion she said she heard some hearsay about what Tom was doing at a law firm. The glaring evil look in Erika's eyes, it looked like she wants to jump across the table and beat the hell out of Sutton. The editing is pretty bad in this scene because I can't tell if Erika's like seriously yelling at Sutton or she's just like, I know what they're gonna tell you. Sutton then brings up her main point that Erika had the audacity to call her a liability when currently, and especially last year, she was a liability to everybody sitting at the table. Erika says she warned Sutton to be quiet in a very violent way. Sutton says, no you didn't. And then we get the flashback of, do you want to get sued? You ever call me a liar again? I'm coming for you. During that iconic scene, I got the impression from Erika that she was gonna sue Sutton, or Tom was, if she didn't shut up. I didn't think she meant someone else was gonna sue her or bring her to court. Here goes Dorit asking Sutton a loaded question that's implying that she was the only one that was asking Erika questions. I'm glad Garcelle spoke up and said y'all all were asking questions. And then production, you know, they roll that beautiful bean footage of all the ladies, especially the ones on the Fox Force 5, asking questions. So wait, out of nowhere, racist Diana decides to come for Garcelle when Garcelle just stuck up for Sutton. She's like, well, you know, out of all the people in the group, you're the most guarded. Like, deflection much? Like, what does that have to do with anything, girl? Why don't you just sit back and lick your damn lips? Garcelle's ready for her. What do you want to know, Diana? Blah, blah, blah. I feel like for your friendship, I had to work extra hard. No, you're just mad that she's not kissing your ass. Lord have mercy, these flashbacks. I wish these ladies stopped lying so production won't have to roll a flashback every 5 seconds. From the viewer's perspective, Diana has made no effort to get to know Garcelle. Okay, Garcelle, Google me if you want to get to know me. And here come Rinna now. Do you hear her, Garcelle? Garcelle's like, what do you hear her say, Rinna? And not Kathy Hilton kind of snickering. Rinna wants another moment. Like, girl, you just had like a whole breakdown earlier. You need to just sit back and let these other ladies talk. Like, why is she trying to reprimand Garcelle right now? Because she's all up Diana's ass. Once Garcelle and Diana both begrudgingly agree they want to get to know each other, Garcelle tells Rinna, did you hear that, Rinna? How about that? And now Rinna attempts to play some reverse psychology on Garcelle, saying, is that fear where it's coming from? Why you don't want to get to know her? Because we're coming from love. Garcelle has had enough. She's like, you are telling me to come from love. Even Kyle in her confessional is saying, how are you telling somebody to come from love when you were just screaming at Sutton 30 minutes ago? It's the pills. It has to be the pills. Anyway, Garcelle lets the table know that just once, she wants somebody to say, Garcelle, you're right. Because they never have her back, at least the Fox Force 4. So here we go again. After a tense-ass dinner, everybody laughing with each other, and that's the end of the scene. So next scene, we're at Crystal's residence. She's talking to her husband about the previous night and how she discussed her eating disorder with the other ladies. Crystal basically says that she wants to get help on her own terms and not because the group is talking about her. This is such a touchy, heavy topic that should not be like the fodder of drama. That's the only thing that frustrates me about this. However way she gets help, I just hope she gets help. So as Crystal and her husband are talking, we see Kathy Hilton just let herself in their house. Crystal lets Kathy know she was crying a little earlier because she was talking about her eating disorder and how it was discussed amongst the group. And Kathy surprisingly gives some great advice. She's saying that, you know, first and foremost, the ladies love you. Secondly, none of them are therapists, professionals, or doctors, so you shouldn't feel any pressure to answer to anybody. And lastly, just let these bitches know, yeah, I'm aware I have a problem. I'm seeking help for it, but that's between me, myself, and I. I was like, okay, Kathy, a broken clock is indeed right twice a day. And after Kathy drops that little nugget of wisdom, she asks Crystal and her husband, do you have any crackers or something? So then they just awkwardly scramble trying to appease Kathy's wishes. She's like, oh, I got some almonds and some crackers. You want some cheese? Kathy's like, you got a Diet Coke? They're like, oh, yeah, you want a glass? So then now you have Kathy Hilton with this whole entire spread in front of her. Such a funny, awkward scene. Next scene, we're with Kyle and her family. She's doing something with her daughters. They're all dressed alike in these leopard pajamas. It looks like it's around Christmas time. They're having some boring celebration. This is the part of the episode where I fell asleep on. This is a best fiends tea. Kyle, you've been on this show for 12 years. We know everything about you already. We still getting flashbacks of her and Mauricio's wedding. I'm sure we've heard it. We've heard it all. Next scene, we're with Erika and Lisa Rinna meeting up for lunch. So of course they're talking about the previous night at Dorit's house where, you know, Rinna had her meltdown and then Sutton coming for Erika. From Erika's perspective, she's saying Sutton knew about this information and wanted to spring it on her in public, like it was intentional. I mean, you did call her a liability, so yeah, if I had this in my back pocket, I'm gonna expose your ass. Sutton doesn't owe these chicks anything, especially after last season, how they all tried to throw her under the bus. So we found out that the next event that all the ladies will be at is at Lisa Rinna's launch party. Didn't she already have one for Rinna Beauty? I could have sworn she did, but this one is gonna have like a 70s theme. Alright, so next scene we have frenemies Sutton and Kyle meeting up for dinner. Ooh, that is a nice Birkin Kyle got. Lord, like she is the queen of the Birkin. So almost immediately, executive producer Kyle Richards asks Sutton, you know you threw everyone in the loop with that Erika information, right? Sutton seems not to care about that and just wanted to prove her point that Erika is the liability and not her. Kyle just stayed getting it wrong, so we cut to her confessional and she's saying that she thought that Erika and Sutton were good. But then here comes Sutton dropping this information, being messy, and I'm like, wait a minute. The only reason she dropped the information is because Erika was being messy, telling Sutton's friend Garcelle that she was a liability. Why is this so easy for the viewers to grasp, but not the rest of these ladies? Sutton then calls out Kyle and how she constantly protects Erika. I mean, Sutton should tell Kyle that Erika is a liability to her in this instance. Especially with the rumors going around about Mauricio's agency. Y'all go Google that. Somehow they changed the topic to Sutton's dating life, and now Kyle's giving Sutton dating advice. Kyle has been married since like, what, the 1990s? What advice can she give about dating? So next we get a montage of all the ladies getting ready for Lisa's beauty event. Lord, more PK and Dorit scenes that I don't want to see. It's now later on in the evening and we see Lisa looking over the event. She looks good and I love this Donna Summer hair she has. I will say Lisa Rinna cleans up very nicely because that makeup is her best friend. Without it, ooh, her age be showing. Her wig game be on point too, most of the time. I'm so glad Brandy ridiculed her 20-year-old hairstyle because without that, she wouldn't have switched it up. So the first few ladies to arrive is Sutton and Crystal, who, look pretty basic. Oh, and Cherie is back, and she looks good in this gold number. Erika Jane, I'm not sure what she's wearing. It looks like she's wearing two different outfits. It's a meh for me. I absolutely love what Garcelle is wearing though. Like from the afro to the go-go boots. I love this little mod 70s dress that she has on. She might be best dressed next to Lisa Rinna. Look, I'm ready to see Garcelle read. My expectations are very high because I heard a lot about this episode today. Okay, I'm gonna give Dorit her props. She looks amazing and I love her hair like that. So Kathy arrives, Racist Diana is there. All the ladies get together to take a picture and I just realized it's 10 of them. They need to cut the fat next season. Like we can get a solid 7. Like cut 3 of them women now. They need to fire 3 ladies, demote 1, and promote 1 to full-time. And I'm sure y'all know who I mean. Okay, so all the ladies are seated and Kyle lets them all know that she's inviting them to Aspen, the infamous Aspen trip. I cannot wait. And of course Kyle has a house there. The issue is though, Kyle's house is small and she can't accommodate everybody. So she's getting a second house that's 10 minutes away. And, you know, I'm pretty sure the second house is going to have Garcelle, Crystal, Sutton, maybe Kathy, I don't know. And then Diana, she just volunteers to stay at a hotel because she knows she can be an uptight, demanding bitch. Oh, and here we go. So the ladies are all chilling and talking. Kyle started this mess again. She turns to Sutton and asks her, oh, so how are you feeling since our dinner? You know, concerning Erika? Like with Erika, like, 2 people behind her. Kyle, you ain't slick. We see you. We see what you doing. And here she goes and she's talking to Sutton. Erika, what did you mean when you called Sutton a liability? So Erika responds that Sutton can be a hindrance to her friend, Garcelle. Sutton then asks Garcelle, is she a hindrance? Garcelle says no. All right, so Garcelle is dragged into this now. Erika says that her friendship with Sutton is preventing her from getting to know the rest of the group. I think that's bullshit. It's going left already. So then Dorit pipes up and says, well, what you brought up about Erika, that was below the belt. And here go Big Lips opening her fucking mouth saying, yeah, that was mean. Rinna, it's not your fight. It's not. And then Sutton disagrees with her and Rinna says, yes, it was. Don't play dumb, Sutton Strack. Who yelled lights, camera, action to Rinna? Huh, huh. She's acting. Drag Race reference. This is why I love Kathy Hilton. I love how she interjects just so like innocently and it just turns out to be so fucking funny. Kyle's trying to moderate this conversation and then Kathy's like, oh, at the Toothless and Homeless event? Garcelle and Cherie immediately start laughing. Not Dorit taking offense to that. Really? So then she tries to address Kathy. Come on, Kathy. It's a charity. And then she's annoyed that Garcelle's laughing too. It was funny and it's a dumb name for a charity. And it's also pretty tone deaf. Even Kyle says the name isn't amazing, but that's not what it's about. She's trying to get to the drama and throw Sutton under the bus. Kyle is frustrated now. She's like, forget about the Toothless Not Homeless charity. And then we see Crystal to her right correcting her. It's Homeless Not Toothless. It's a dumb fucking name, okay? We're allowed to laugh about it. It's so fucking silly. They only got a few minutes left and they stuck on this charity. Kathy tells Dorit, honey, I've worked with the homeless and the toothless. Stop. Oh, okay. Let's move on, y'all. We have to move on. Anyway, Lisa Rinna is going back and forth on her hatred of Sutton. Even though she said she was over it or was squashed, she keeps backpedaling into hating Sutton again. And then she's like, I think I'm going to give myself some slack on this, especially with the grief I'm dealing with. Really? So you're going to blame your contradictory behavior on grief? That's pretty foul. So then as Sutton's trying to explain herself, she's doing a really bad job of it. She's kind of going off on a tangent. Erika interrupts her and says, oh, well, I have a drinking problem. And then I'm guessing Dorit and Racist Diana was snickering by that. And she's like, we can get to that one later. And she looks at Garcelle. And Garcelle's like, what? Diana, dumbass, asks Garcelle, does she have a drinking problem? She says no. And Erika says, neither do I. But you said I did. She's so smug right now. I think she thought in this moment she was going to get Garcelle together. Let's find out. Ooh, they going back and forth. Erika came to play, and Garcelle, she's standing her ground. Erika basically thinks Garcelle's coming from a malicious place and trying to like put a label on her, even though it's a fact. Like, you were drinking and mixing meds like you weren't supposed to, and you were shit-faced at 3 different occasions, and Garcelle called it out, and your homegirls didn't. And speaking of her homegirl, she said, you know what, if I did have a problem, I probably wouldn't tell you. I'm closest with these women. And Garcelle's like the rest of the audience when she says, oh God, you guys remind us of that every other day. So producers are now reminding us with flashbacks all the time. Garcelle talked about Erika's drinking. I still don't think it's an issue because the ladies talked about other things just as much. Oh, yes! I love that line. That is the line of the season. Erika, I don't have to make you look bad. You can do that all on your own. Oh. Like the mouse dropped. The other ladies were not expecting that. So then Erika tries to call Garcelle a liar after she says that. Girl, did you see the last season? Did you see yourself? Because there's a whole fucking Reddit list of your lies. And here we go again with Dorit inserting her unwanted ass opinion on a topic. She mentions to Garcelle that she told her that she's never seen Erika like this. And Garcelle said, don't be Kyle, don't be Kyle. So now you have Kyle, Erika, as well as Dorit coming at Garcelle. I wonder if Cherie said anything during this exchange, or maybe they just edited it out. So then the conversation finally goes back to Sutton as Kyle is poorly moderating this argument. She said, maybe you and Erika need to start over. Sutton tells Erika, I'm gonna call you tomorrow. I'm gonna call you tomorrow. Erika's like, please don't. I'm starting to think none of these ladies like Sutton except for Garcelle. After that, we finally see Kathy kind of annoyed for once because Dorit kind of snapped at her about the charity name. So then she's telling that to Garcelle saying, what's the difference? Homeless and toothless, homeless and toothless, homeless and toothless. She went on for at least about 5 more times saying homeless and toothless. And that is where the episode ends. Now, I really enjoyed this episode, and y'all were right. Like, Garcelle really held her own. I don't think she drugged Erika, but that line she told Erika, yeah, that was a mic drop right there, and Erika couldn't recover from that. So of course I'm on Team Garcelle, of course I'm on Team Sutton. Like, please can they just blow up the Fox Force 4? Because those 4 ladies are always going to have each other's back no matter what, and it's annoying. Also, I want to say kudos to Garcelle for stepping the fuck up this season. Like, first season, it was alright. Second, she was trying to find her position. Third, she's a fucking housewife. Like, she is good TV. She's not scared of these women. She's producing just as much as Kyle. Like, I'm enjoying her so much. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, I think she's my favorite so far because she's real, unlike these other bitches. I would love to know what y'all think. I know there's some Erika Jayne lovers. I think we all collectively don't like Lisa Rinna, and I think we all collectively don't like Diana as well. They can go, honestly, and rumor has it, they are. Ooh, and next week is the Aspen trip. Rub hands like Birdman. I cannot wait. I love this show too much. I really do. Anywho, it is 1:30 a.m. in the morning. I need to get my ass to sleep. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for the next episode. Bye.